The camera glides over a young planet, its crust still forming rivers of molten rock. Volcanoes erupt endlessly, releasing clouds of steam that blanket the surface. From the chaos of fire and ash, continents begin to breathe. The primordial oceans shimmer with the first stirrings of life, invisible to the naked eye, yet destined to reshape the planet. Millions of years pass in a heartbeat, and the stage for the dinosaurs is set. The Triassic dawns. The air is dry, the continents joined into a single superland, Pangaea. Small, fast reptiles scurry across red deserts. Among them, the first dinosaurs appear. Humble, two-legged hunters barely taller than a human child. Yet within these fragile bones lies the blueprint of a coming empire. From fragile beginnings emerge the giants. In lush Jurassic forests, colossal necks rise above the canopy. The air vibrates with the calls of sauropods and the distant thunder of predators. Earth's oxygen swells, feeding muscles and hearts that beat with unimaginable strength. This is the golden age, when life stretches toward the sky itself. In the lands that will become North America, a new monarch rises, the Tyrannosaurus rex. Each step cracks ancient stone, every roar a declaration of supremacy. Prey flee through forests of cycads and conifers, the air thick with the scent of resin and blood. Evolution has sculpted the ultimate predator, but unseen above, the cosmos watches and waits. Across the heavens, a faint light travels silently, a messenger of extinction. The world continues unaware. Eggs hatch, forests bloom, seas teem with color, but destiny draws near. The reign of giants is nearing its end.
The planet thrived. Forests blanketed continents from pole to pole, and the seas shimmered with life. Herds of hadrosaurs grazed in sunlit valleys, while flying reptiles ruled the skies above. The world pulsed with rhythm, vast, ancient, and unaware. Nature had reached its pinnacle, a balance sculpted by millions of years. Yet far beyond the blue horizon, destiny was already in motion. Far out in the void, a rock the size of a mountain hurtled through darkness. It traveled for millions of years, silent and unseen, until the pull of Earth's gravity drew it home. Its surface glowed faintly, its shadow cutting across the stars. The universe, indifferent and vast, had chosen its instrument of change. Then, in a single instant, paradise was gone. The asteroid struck near the Yucatan Peninsula with a force greater than billions of bombs. The sky ignited, shockwaves circled the globe, and the oceans rose in walls of fire and steam. Forests vanished, and the sun itself disappeared behind a shroud of ash. In that moment, the age of dinosaurs ended, not with a roar, but with silence. Darkness consumed the earth. For months, no sunlight reached the ground. Temperatures plummeted, and the food chains collapsed. Only the smallest and most adaptable creatures endured, the hidden ones, the burrowers, the scavengers. The age of giants was over. The world belonged now to the survivors. Yet even in ruin, life persisted. Tiny mammals emerged from the dust, trembling yet alive. In their eyes glimmered the spark of what would come next, a lineage destined to reshape the world. The dinosaurs had fallen, but their legacy would echo in every heartbeat that followed.
Years passed, the skies cleared, the earth, scarred yet breathing, began to heal.
Rain fell upon barren ground, coaxing the first shoots of green through the gray. Forests crept back, cautious and small. Life, as it always had, returned. Yet the rulers of this new dawn were not giants. They were tiny, clever, and waiting. In the wake of the catastrophe, size meant death. The massive beasts were gone, leaving the world to the small and swift. Shrew-like mammals, barely the weight of an apple, crept through ferns and roots. Their nights were filled with danger. Reptiles still lurked, and the earth remained unpredictable. Yet these fragile survivors carried something powerful: adaptability. Slowly, evolution began to experiment. Brains grew larger, senses sharpened. Warm-blooded creatures learned to regulate heat, to care for their young, to cooperate. Tiny changes, invisible over lifetimes, reshaped destiny. Intelligence was not an accident. It was nature's quiet rebellion against extinction. As continents drifted apart, climates changed. Mammals diversified into hunters, grazers, swimmers, and climbers. Gigantic predators like Androsarchus roamed coastal plains, while early whales returned to the sea. The world once ruled by reptiles now echoed with new footsteps, the rhythm of fur, heartbeat, and breath. Though the dinosaurs were gone, their blood still flowed, in birds soaring across the sky. Feathers were their inheritance, songs their legacy. The earth had not forgotten its giants, it had simply evolved them into air. Life had moved on, but the memory of the Mesozoic still whispered through every wingbeat.
Glaciers crept slowly, carving the face of the planet. Valleys became rivers of ice, and oceans withdrew into frozen tombs. The air grew thin and dry. The wind howled like a living thing. The world that had once belonged to giants now belonged to endurance. Every breath was a battle for warmth, every sunrise a fragile victory. Mammoths marched through the snow, their wool thick and glistening with frost. Saber-toothed cats prowled the frozen plains, their roars echoing across the tundra. Humans, fragile and barefoot in history's dawn, huddled around flickering fires. They learned to hunt, to make tools, to survive. For the first time, intelligence faced the cruelty of climate and won. With every passing millennium, the glaciers sculpted mountains and rivers, carving the landscapes we now call home. Earth was reborn through erosion, pressure, and time. Beneath layers of frozen silence, continents took shape. The beauty of the modern world was the work of cold hands. As the climate warmed again, the great beasts faltered. Mammoths vanished, their bones buried beneath melting ice. The saber-toothed predators disappeared, their roars fading into myth. Humanity, now armed with tools, fire, and memory, inherited the earth. The age of monsters ended, not with extinction alone, but with a new kind of dominion. They walked upright into the dawn, hunters, thinkers, dreamers, the first to look upon the stars and wonder. The same fire that once destroyed the dinosaurs now burned in their hands. From survival came civilization, and from civilization came power. But power, as history would soon reveal, carries its own kind of extinction.
Humanity's first spark was not born in the heavens, but in its own hands. Fire, once the weapon of nature, now obeyed thought and purpose. With it came warmth, protection, and the power to alter the world. The age of instinct gave way to the age of reason, and reason would prove far more dangerous than any meteor. The species spread across continents, forests fell, rivers changed course, and the sky filled with the smoke of progress. Stone became metal, metal became machines, and machines became empires. Humanity had done what no creature before it could. It had conquered nature itself. But the line between mastery and ruin grew ever thinner. Deep beneath the earth, among the fossils of forgotten giants, humanity uncovered the bones of its predecessors. With awe and fear, they named them dinosaurs. In those ancient shapes, they saw a reflection, a warning written in stone, that no reign, no matter how mighty, lasts forever. The planet warmed again, not by cosmic fire, but by human hands. Forests dwindled, oceans rose, and countless species vanished into silence. The same intelligence that had once saved humanity now threatened all life around it. The cycle of creation and destruction had come full circle, and the new meteor was us. Yet hope endures. From the ruins of every extinction, life has always found a way. In our hands lies both the power to destroy and the wisdom to protect. The age of men may decide not only its own fate, but the fate of all that will ever walk, swim, or soar upon this planet. The story that began